Hey everybody, this is Minion Soldier, and this is the Piracy Show. Actually, this is the next Piracy Show, because don't you just love rewriting an entire episode at the last minute because a new ship just suddenly gets dropped in your lap? Thanks for the warning, CIG. Thank you. But oddly enough, I do have the perfect footage for this. Now, yesterday's footage, of course, I was flying down to Yella in the Caterpillar, and now we're taking off in the same Caterpillar, same mission, when all of a sudden my ship mysteriously develops all this damage on the exterior of the ship. Now, you saw the flight down was uneventful, but somehow, even as I was starting to walk up to my ship, the damage was there, then it just mysteriously appeared. But that is a bit of an issue, and that's something that we've kind of skirted around, but we haven't really talked about until now, which is if you're in a pirate ship, how do you get rearmed? How do you get repaired out in deep space? You know, we've talked about crucibles, things like that, but there really is no firm strategy. And you know, you don't really want to have, like, say, you don't want to rely on a pirate Idris or a pirate crucible too much, because that could be a critical asset that's kind of left out there in space where people could find it. And if you have an asset like that out there, that's a heck of a place for someone to hit you back and cripple your operations and otherwise put a crimp on your funds. So this new ship, the Aegis Vulcan, kind of presents, I think, a bit of a unique opportunity. Now, of course, the Aegis Vulcan doesn't really, it's never going to be something that entirely replaces a Crucible or a Starfarer or an Idris. It's never going to replace those ships, but, in a jam, this can be a heck of a ship to kind of get one or two vessels back up and running, or to get a couple of vessels rearmed, because one of the biggest concerns around projectile weapons has always been, what happens when my projectile weapons run out of ammunition? That's always been kind of the tug of war between energy weapons and projectile weapons. Projectile weapons have that great upfront ability to penetrate shields right away. Energy weapons don't have that ability, but they are infinite. Well, unless you die, then they and you are finite. But, this is a ship that kind of looks like it could be something that would come in handy for pirates, something that would allow you to repair and rearm your fleets and to use a platform which otherwise is more expendable than something much larger and much more expensive, or something that if you were to lose wouldn't hurt as much as losing a Crucible or losing a Starfarer or losing an Idris. Now, the concept itself seems a lot more fleshed out than previous concepts have been. I mean, this is a lot like the Hammerhead. This is a surprisingly well-developed concept. We've never seen, like, advanced animations and things like this for concept ships really since the Hammerhead. Most ships, generally, we get a few graphics, a few JPEGs, whatever, but we never really get seemingly a model with some of the functionality built in. And they give us a full walkthrough of the interior, so it was really cool to see that this concept sail was so fleshed out. And I hope that this and the Hammerhead are the mark of things to come in future concept sails, where we see things as well developed as possible. And yeah, look at the view from that cockpit. That is that's pretty damn decent. I like that. Overall, I like the design. Like, I like the way the ship is built out, when they're saying, like, kind of a mini reclaimer, I guess, in a way. But, I mean, not for salvage, obviously, but I like the utilitarian design. I like the fact that it is all kind of built around the idea of just making it work and making it work well, and everything has a very basic, straightforward layout to it. I really, really like that. I always kind of cringe when I see, more attention or more detail work paid to the cup holders than the cockpit, you know what I'm saying? and this seems to be kind of a design in a different direction. And this, the hammerhead, things like that, it seems to be like almost representing kind of like a next stage in ship design where things are kind of getting to a more practical level rather than just kind of concentrating on, you know, these fantastical, wonderful designs that look so stylish but lack substance. And whereas this ship is all substance, and I think that kind of gives it a style of its own, which I really like. It is probably one of the better looking concept ships we've seen in a while. But then again, you know, that's my personal taste. That's subjective. I mean, you're talking to a guy who likes tanks and attack helicopters and things like that, and couldn't give a shit about a Ferrari. So, yeah. But I really like it. I think it's a really good-looking concept ship, and my only real concern is just how good it will be at all three roles at once, because I could see it kind of taking care of like one or two ships, one or two fighters maybe with ammo and repairs, maybe kind of putting a little spot repair on a bigger ship to kind of get it on its way home. But in terms of a full-time career, I don't know. I mean, I think it would really depend on that emerging gameplay, right? You would have to be in a universe where enough people are getting damaged that you'd always kind of be on the move, and you know, having almost in a weird way, you'd be like the service guy who has to take the pager home that night and kind of be Johnny on the spot in case anything goes wrong. I wonder what kind of income those players will expect. I mean, would NPCs be calling on you? It's funny that my alert goes off right when I say that, the email alert on my tablet. Odd coincidence, but we'll leave it in and we'll roll with it. But yeah, I wonder, I mean, would NPCs be calling on you and asking you to repair their ship? I mean, could you make money that way? I really wonder how this ship is going to end up. But I like it. I like the ship overall. Is it something that I am going to buy? No. I have different roles in mind that I want to play. And it's not something that's really something that I'm looking for in terms of roles to play. But I do like the ship. I think that it's a great concept, and it's a good idea. I'm a little concerned about overall income that those players might experience. It might feel like more work than it's worth, but as a tactical tool, especially for pirates, if you need to have a repair guy out there just in case, it seems like it would be the ideal ship to have. But we'll have to wait and see. The concept did feel like it was a lot more fleshed out, though. I'm not the only one who feels that way, right? It feels very Hammerhead-ish, like this is something they needed for something else, and it's like, well, why don't we put this out there too? I almost wonder if we're going to see this in Squadron 42. But anyways, I mean, the sale's going, what, from the 22nd until the end of March, if I remember correctly? So I'm sure we'll get a lot of information, at least tomorrow on Reverse the Verse. Probably every question is going to be about the Vulcans, so we'll probably get a ton of information then, and that will help us kind of flesh out the picture of what this ship is going to be and what it's going to be like in the persistent universe. Anyways, that's the show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.